What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 633 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the City of Vineland. It's KB and my oh-so-special co-host, the people's champ, the host with the most, Mr. Patty Pitts, coming at you to get your week started right. And the vibes, for the most part, are at an all-time high. The Eagles had a sensational draft. The Phillies pull off a San Diego sweep because that's what's in. And we'll also talk about the disappointment that is the Philadelphia 76ers. But before we get into all of that, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI on Twitter, Instagram, which shout out to our new 200 Instagram followers, and shout out to BG for that. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.com/Underground Sports PHI. Shout out to our 400 new Facebook followers as well. Shout out to BG for that. Twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI. Check us out on LinkedIn as well. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia on LinkedIn. It will officially be linked in the description for this episode. I've just been scrolling on LinkedIn to kind of get a vibe and see how things go. I also found out that the fan who announced for the Eagles the amazing pick that everyone was waiting for, the legacy continues. We'll talk about it in a little bit. The person who announced that was part of the Eagles Autism Foundation initiative, and he's a student at Rowan University.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to.
There you go.
I saw his professor who used to work at NBC Sports Philadelphia when I was growing up as a kid. He's now an adjunct at Rowan. I commented on his post and I said I would love to, have his story on our show and everything. So I'm working on getting him on the show.
There you go, dude.
Big
LinkedIn.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Already making some progress.
Making moves. So yeah, I'm just learning how people are posting on LinkedIn, and we should be posting on there hopefully starting May 1st is when I want to try to start getting going on there. But follow us on there. We're trying to build up a rapport on LinkedIn. Follow Patty Pitts on Twitter at Pat_Pitts and on Instagram and Threads at Pitsy35. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. You can also subscribe to my own YouTube channel where I'm working on pushing out content that's behind the scenes, building Underground Sports Philadelphia, very inspired by the morning meeting by John Boy, and kind of just getting my thoughts off that aren't necessarily sports related, but just testing the waters of different ways to grow content. That's youtube.com/@undergroundkb. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form, but those two in particular, because we get the analytics straight sent to us. And we're growing. We're growing on Spotify, growing on Apple Podcasts, which is huge. Let's keep that rolling. Let's keep it going. Our numbers are still up over the last month by almost 100%, which is huge for downloads over the last month. Keep it coming. Keep subscribing. Keep leaving 5-star ratings and reviews. And this week, Patty Pitts, we also, along with us being in the top 1,500 on the U.S. sports chart, which let's keep pushing. Let's keep
going. Come on.
F1 Underground F1, however you guys see it on the socials, but F1 Underground was in the top 200 and inside the top 200 on the sports charts in New Zealand.
Dude, New Zealand. Here we go. International waters.
Dude,
I live basically. Basically.
You live in New Zealand? Yeah.
No.
They peaked at 133 in New Zealand.
I don't even have a passport. I was gonna say a Pittsburgh. Don't even get me started, but the name's already flourishing. No, but I work legit down the street from the F1 arcade.
Dude, that's so sick.
That's a Seaport, baby. And it looks so cool from the pictures I've seen, and I get bored at work, obviously, sitting on the toilet. And I just think of ideas, and I'm like, Why haven't they just came over? Like, we got to get Casey, in there.
I
And
want to
then we
reach
could do
out
like
to them
another
soon,
new
like maybe in the
restaurant.
summer.
Yeah, dude. Then we can go to I can show them like my restaurants and stuff, and like
do something like a weekend in the summer or something. And
oh yeah, dude. Like it definitely needs to happen.
Do some content there. I know they were in DC last weekend for a whole Red Bull event, which was really cool. Seeing all the stuff that they were posting. They went as fans, and like it was just like a display of Red Bull's old car and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Going as a fan is
we're building in that motorsport world.
We're building in nonsense sports. That's what we do. Okay, we got F1, we got WWE because you experienced your first WrestleMania or just taste of. Was that like your first? Well, lacrosse, obviously.
Golf,
but is that golf? Not the major four. That's what we are. That's what we
pro
are.
soccer, and of course Philadelphia sports. Want to talk about nonsense,
bro? I thought Boston was bad. You guys have the most absurd roller coaster of ups and downs.
Yeah.
At least Boston, we're like up. Celtics, we go Bruins, pretty good. And then like Red Sox hits like right to the middle because like they won 17-0 against the Cubs on Saturday.
That was a football score.
It was a football score. So like we're here, and then the Patriots usually you'd be off camera right here. But with Drake May in the NFL draft, I don't know. People are talking, and the NFL draft just made everybody talk.
We'll talk more about NFL draft in just a moment. But yeah, keep subscribing on audio and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Hopefully back on schedule now, following my inventory debacle at the day job and just getting caught back on track. We are we're working on getting back everything on schedule. Every show having a day that it's going up. And of course, you get clips, shorts, live streams. We had our NFL draft stream, which was a ton of fun. Pitsy reenacted Grease and Bye Bye Bye, which will be.
I forgot I did that. Yeah, I'm a dancer. Dude, I can do it all. What are you talking about?
We're at 779 subscribers right now. Gained some over the past week. We're very close to 800. Let's get that there. I'm tired of seeing a 7 next to our subscriber count. I want to see 8s. I want to see 9s. And then I want to see 1,000 because then we can really pop off. And Pitsy knows what you can do when you have over 1,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel. So keep subscribing. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And hit that like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below, your thoughts on everything we talk about on this episode. And of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. It was really cool the other day. I was up watching the Phillies game on Friday, I want to say. Commercial break happens, City of Vineland commercial. Ooh. I was like, that's our presenting sponsor right there. That's my mayor. Shout out to Mayor Fanucci. He's the GOAT.
That's my sub-mayor. On Sundays and Wednesdays.
The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Patty Pitts. Patty Pitts, the NFL draft has come and gone, and the Philadelphia Eagles had themselves quite a time in Detroit.
Yo, it was like Black Friday and Prime Day for the Eagles. Like they were just wheeling, dealing, and getting all sorts of talent that, I mean, it's just gonna help them so much on where we actually thought they were going to pick and needed help.
It was crazy. We set an NFL record for most draft day trades by any team with 8 and broke our own record by doing that because the Eagles also had 7 trades last year.
You just love to break your own records. You love it.
It's great. Howie is the GOAT. And I asked you guys this on the stream on Thursday night from an outsider perspective, I asked you and Steve, is Howie Roseman the best GM in the NFL? To which you both said yes.
Essentially. And I feel like I'm at a place right now where I can be extremely unbiased. And it's because you don't see a GM as aggressive as Howie Roseman in the NFL. You don't see someone making the types of moves that he does in the draft room or just during the season, to sign players. He does what the fans want him to do when it comes to making an effort to improve the team. I'm as someone who comes from the big bad New England evil empire, everything was done from within and you develop that way. So I'm trained my brain to go, that's how you do it. And to see someone do it the other way and then actually having some success, it's like, okay, maybe there's other ways. And I wish that my GM would do that if I even friggin' had one.
Howie Roseman and the Eagles walked into the NFL draft with 8 draft picks. They left selecting 9 players and wound up with a 3rd-round pick in 2025, a 4th-round pick in 2025, and a 5th-round pick in 2025, along with the other picks that they already had for 2025.
Dude, that's a hell of a day at the racetracks. Seriously. Like I have no other way to put it.
He's built different. He's built different. And we've got a number of players to go through that will be wearing Eagles green come this fall, and it is brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. If you want to be wearing things that are going to make you stand out in the crowd, PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it. From Philly-centric merch for the Eagles, the Flyers, the Phillies, the Sixers, the Union, just fun Philly sports and Philadelphia culture shirts, and of course, Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch. Working on some new merch for the summertime that will hopefully be up very, very soon. But PHI Apparel Company's got you covered. From shirts and hoodies, they're the best in the game. Patty Pitts and I have told you guys that the hoodie's the most comfortable hoodie we own. The shirts fit perfectly. They're not too snug. They're not too loose. They fit incredibly. They don't like fade in the washer either, which is always a huge concern. It's awesome. If you want to stand out in the crowd, rep your favorite teams, rep your favorite podcast, go to phiapparel.co. That's phiapparel.co. Use code Underground. You'll get 10% off your merch orders anytime, anyplace, anywhere. It's the most effective and direct way to support everything we're doing. So go to phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout in the promo code bar, type in Underground, you get 10% off your orders from PHI Apparel Company. Patty Pitts, here are the draft picks. Here is the 2024 draft class for the Philadelphia Eagles, not including undrafted free agents. These are just the players that were picked. So in the first round, the Eagles did not have to trade up, down, or anywhere. They stay at 22 and get who is arguably the top corner prospect in this draft, and that is Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. And the more and more I watch him, the more and more I just pick up on his energy, the more and more I love this kid. I was skeptical just because of Toledo at first, and, it's the MAC. It's not a huge conference like an Alabama, like a Georgia or whatever it may be. But the more and more I watch him, he is a dog, and he's going to be so talented. His pro comps from everything I was looking up after we drafted him are the following players. Darius Slay, who better to learn from than the guy that's already on the team. Richard Sherman. And Sauce Gardner.
Okay, so he's shut down. He's a shutdown man-to-man guy that's just gonna okay. I like that for you guys.
Those are your 3 pro comps that I have seen for Quinyon Mitchell, or as Philadelphia's calling him, Quinjon Mitchell.
I hate all of you. That is you guys. Quinjon.
He is the first corner that the Eagles have taken in the first round since 2002 when they drafted Lito Shepherd, which is just crazy. And he's not the only one, because then in round 2, the Eagles move up from pick 50 in a trade with the Washington Commanders. They also sent pick 53 to Washington in this trade, but they move up 10 spots and they go and draft Cooper Sharp. Cooper DeJean is here. Cooper DeJean is an Eagle, the defensive back from Iowa, and as everyone has been referring to him as, he is the white corner. And
you got him.
The Eagles now have Cooper DeJean, and they also have Reed Blankenship in the secondary, to which, during the season, we were talking about Reed Blankenship and people calling him Chalk Doc and all that,
so
which
funny.
Killed you.
People were saying, so funny.
People were saying, what are we going to call the duo of Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship? To which somebody quote tweeted and said, the secondary, but spelled it SECONDAIRY.
I love wordplay. I think it's without a doubt.
Milkmen. They're the milkmen.
That is so that's what makes me a sports fan. That type of shit's so funny. It's well done.
There's a video of Cooper's a highlight mashup from Iowa that was synced up to Mr. Brightside. And I just want to call him Mr. Brightside.
I think Mr. Brightside is a good.
He's also Cooper Sharp, the elite cheese to put on cheese. Cheddar. Old Cooper Sharp. Because he's sharp.
Is that the best type of cheese for a cheesesteak?
Melts perfectly, tastes great.
Is that what we got when I went? Okay, because that was delicious. I housed that thing. It's good when I had a Patrick Star moment where I ate it and I went for another bite and it wasn't there. I was like, "Where did?
Like King Neptune. I'm going to eat that again."
I was so ready. It was so good.
But Cooper DeJean from Iowa, and his high school basketball mixtape was also making the rounds on social media because that boy can dunk. And there were questions filtered on the Eagles YouTube channel to both Quinyon and Cooper. And someone said, by how many points would Caitlin Clark beat you by in basketball one-on-one? Because they both went to Iowa.
Yo, that's so funny.
But I'm very happy about Coop and Quinyon. And then we go to the third round where the Eagles traded the pick. They traded pick 78 to the Houston Texans, which was what I'm going to dub the sketch pick, because that is the pick that Sketch announced. Or no, apologies. That's later on because there were two trades with Houston. But they traded 78 overall, which they got from Washington to Houston to move down to pick 86. And then from pick 86, the Eagles traded that to San Francisco to move down to 94. And then they drafted the first player ever drafted from Houston Christian University, Jalix Hunt, an edge rusher who many are saying is one of Vic Fangio's favorite players in the entire draft.
Because he's going to hunt you down, boy.
Jalix Hunt also had
you down.
One of the greatest draft day phone calls with Howie Roseman I have ever seen.
I love a good.
Howie Roseman calls Jalix Hunt and says, "Hey, Jalix," and he responds, "What's up, Big Pimpin'?"
Odds I do that next time a chef calls me.
It's just please do. I need somebody to record that too.
So funny.
I need
That's
somebody
such
to record
an incredible way to answer the phone
and to introduce yourself to the GM of the team. What's up, Big Pimpin'?
He flexes tits too when he did it. He was like, "Sup," a little "sup." You can see it right, whatever. Right there it is.
He's awesome. He's so talented, and I'm very excited for this pick. And I think we, as a society, need to realize that just because you don't know about a player, if you've never heard of a player or never watched a player, doesn't mean that they're not good.
1,000%. Look at what the Patriots did the past 20 years.
There's so many players that get drafted that are from small schools that end up being very, very good. And I think Jalix Hunt has a chance to be one of those players in this Vic Fangio defense. He also told Nick Sirianni that he's going to need the playbook ASAP. So he's dialed.
That's a very good sign.
He's dialed in.
They ask for it right away, and the coach makes a state of it.
We also, as a society, we prop up Mr. Irrelevant a ton, which is all fine and good. We also need to prop up Mr. Nice, which is pick 69 every year.
I think we should.
Every year, pick 69 needs to be documented. And just seeing
how
nice of a pick it is and how nice of a player they turned out to be, both on and off the field.
That's what I'm saying. I think that is an absolute must.
We need to normalize.
Do we
Mr.
know
Nice.
who had it?
Let us see here. I will pull up the draft from this year. So pick 69 this year went to the Chargers, Junior Colson from Michigan.
Junior Colson is a good name, too.
Junior Colson. He's a linebacker from Michigan.
Ooh, okay, and Michigan guy.
Shall we check on the past, 3 years?
3. We'll go 3. 3's a good number.
So 2023's draft, Mr. Nice, went to the Houston Texans. That was Tank Dell.
Oh,
he's nice, which I'm very happy to hear that he's okay.
Dude.
Crazy and scary situation. Tank Dell was part of a situation where 10 people were injured, and he suffered a minor injury in a shooting in Florida. I'm very happy Tank is okay.
Me too.
He has turned into one of my favorite players to watch in such a short amount of time. He's so fun. So Tank Dell doing a great job for the Mr. Nice position.
All right, good.
2023's Mr. Nice. Then we go to 2022.
Okay.
Where Mr. Nice went to the Tennessee Titans, and that is Nicholas Pettit-Frere. Offensive tackle from Ohio State. Went to the Titans. And then we'll go 2021.
You don't hear anything bad. So I'm going to take that as a good thing. You don't hear anything bad about him.
2021, Cincinnati Bengals, Joseph Osai. Defensive end from Texas.
Okay. Tank Dell's holding it down.
Tank Dell's holding it down so far this day. We'll look at 2020 because that's the start of the decade.
All right, fair.
Seattle Seahawks guard Damian Lewis.
So it's just like a big fat dude.
Good. Went to LSU.
And then Tank Dell, who by name you'd think is a fat dude, but no, he's just a speed demon.
He's the complete opposite of a fat.
Exactly. So but
he's a tank.
Nice.
But yeah, we need to normalize Mr. Nice. That's going to be our football version of the Platinum Plunk, which we'll talk about later on, because we got a new Philly added to the board today.
I'd like to see another person to remind me.
So then we go to the 4th round, where the Eagles traded pick 120, which they got from Pittsburgh, to Miami. And then they also traded pick 123 from Houston back to Houston. And that is the Sketch pick. Sketch announced that pick, to which Sketch said Philadelphia Eagles. So we have on video and on audio Sketch saying the name Philadelphia Eagles, which is very fun.
Legendary, iconic moment.
That was an awesome moment. Like Sketch walking out on stage, hyping the crowd up, and just yelling, "What's up, brothers? Let's get hyped. This is football." He's awesome.
That man
for the first time in a long time, we as a society have propped up the correct person to get them famous.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I listened to his they did some TikTok video of his backstory, and he's so like cool. Just a wholesome dude who just
loves the Texans.
Shit luck, and then fell into a position of Madden and loving football, and I mean, dude, living the dream.
What's up, brothers?
Tuesday.
Special teams, special plays, special players. Which the Eagles got some more special players, because with pick 127 that they got from Houston, they drafted Clemson running back Will Shipley, a white running back. So they go white DB, white running back. Will Shipley's awesome. He's so cool.
You guys were obsessed with milk. This
Clemson running back, played lacrosse, which is very cool for my brand.
That's your brand.
Will Shipley is a speed demon and has a chance to probably go toe-to-toe in training camp with Kenny Gainwell to take his spot on the roster. Will Shipley, also one of the most kind people on his draft day call. Howie Roseman's like, "Hey, Will, this is Howie Roseman from the Philadelphia Eagles." He goes, "How are you? This is Will Shipley." And Howie goes, "I know who you are. I'm making the call."
That's incredible. That's
great.
his little kid getting a call from an adult.
He's so awesome.
That's incredible.
I'm very excited about Will Shipley. And then pick 132, the Eagles acquired that from San Francisco on day 2. They traded that to Detroit. And then in the 5th round, with pick 152, which they got from Washington, they drafted, I believe it's Ainias Smith, wide receiver from Texas A&M. He's smaller. He's only 5'9", I think 5'9" and a quarter maybe. But that dude is a menace on kick and punt returns.
Oh, you need that type of guy. That's a special
that dude,
player,
with the new rules that are coming into play this year with the kick returns, he's going to be somebody to watch that's going to contribute big time on special teams for the Eagles.
I'm interested to see it.
And then the Eagles traded up with the Colts to pick number 155 for the pick that everyone was waiting for, and that is Clemson linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And when that happened, I almost cried. It is like a full circle moment. Like, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. went to school in Philly, went to the prep, go prep, shout out Zoe. And, you know, his dad obviously is a legend in this city, shaped and molded the lives of many an Eagles fan, mine included. And to see the phone call with that one was special. You get Howie Roseman, so he said, "Get Jeremiah Trotter on the fucking phone."
Yeah,
clapping like hype.
Yeah.
And then to see Jeffrey Lurie, that is a moment that if you are an Eagles fan, you like count your blessings that Jeffrey Lurie is the Eagles owner, and that you have an owner that is that dedicated to not only winning and wants to win at all costs, but also has the humility and like people to people connection with so many people and values the history of the Eagles, to where he gets on the phone with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and says, "Jeremiah, how old were you when I first met you? 2, 3, 4?" Like, and then talks about how proud of him that he is, how happy he is that he's coming to Philly, loves his whole family, and said, "And I loved your mother." And that like crushed me because Trot's wife passed away in February of 2023 from a battle with breast cancer. And that moment was just like, God damn, like it just shows how much Jeffrey Lurie cares about anybody that's ever worn an Eagles uniform. And it's really cool to see moments like that and how much this team cares about players, even when their playing career is done. The respect and the attention that they pay to their lives post career is so cool. And I'm so thrilled that Trot Jr. is here, because he's like, people are like, "Oh, don't watch the film." It's like, no, he's one of the best coverage linebackers in college football over the past couple of years. And he's going to bring the swagger and attitude of Philadelphia to the field. He's very Nakobe Dean-esque. Like, he's a little small, but I think it's a great value pick in the 5th round to get somebody of his caliber. And he's going to be awesome in this Fangio defense. And he also said that like he wants to wear his dad's number 54. A number has not been given out in a while. So like, it's going to be really cool to see Trotter 54 back on the back of an Eagles jersey.
Is it junior? So it'd be Trotter Jr. on the back of the jersey.
Depending on how he wants to wear it.
Yeah. No, that's what sports are at the end of the day. It's a people business. And it's not like the Eagles just drafted him because he's his son and he's a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, it actually makes sense for the team. And the Eagles are a team that is, I would say, bound in loyalty, you know, so from what I've observed over the past few years, and this is just another example of that.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that pick for sure. And then the Eagles traded pick 161 to Washington that they acquired from Tampa Bay. They also traded pick 164 that they got from Detroit to Indy to move up to get Trot Jr. Then they traded pick 171 to the Jets. And then with pick 172, which was a compensatory pick, they drafted Trevor Keegan, a guard from Michigan, team captain for the world champion Wolverines. And this guy's going to fit in so perfectly with this Eagles offensive line room. Like, there was videos and pictures of him at the Michigan parade, like chugging beers with his shirt off.
Hey,
he's wearing eye black around his face. He looks like the Joker. Like, he's going to be so fun. I'm all in on Trevor Keegan. Like, 5th round pick that could end up being a steal for you is huge. And I think that's a huge pickup for the Eagles and Jeff Stoutland, and getting another member of Stoutland U in the 5th round is huge. And then in the 6th round, they draft one of the biggest wide receivers I've ever seen in my life. 6'6", Johnny Wilson from Florida State. He is a massive human, and you're giving Jalen Hurts a 6'6", big body wide receiver. I think he's like 6'6", 230.
I think, is that your biggest wide receiver since Cartwright? Has to be.
People were dropping Harold Carmichael, like
Carmichael. What is it, Cartwright? Carmichael.
When they were talking about him, and I'm pumped. Like,
I mean, yeah, dude, just give Jalen Hurts.
Imagine a 3 wide receiver set with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Johnny Wilson out there. Good luck.
Dude, fuck it, Wilson down there somewhere. It doesn't matter.
And Dallas Goedert's out there.
Yeah, dude. What's the guy guarding him? Like 5'10", 5'10", 5'11". Get out of here, dude. Just throw to him. We'll just that's mine. Thank you. That's a hell of a pick by the Eagles. See, that's
so
what
that's a 6th round
like,
pick right there.
That is a good GM getting guys like that for his quarterback.
And then in the 6th round, pick 190.
Jerome Baker. Yeah.
They draft guard center Dylan McMahon from NC State. One pick off of the Jason Kelsey number in the 6th round of 191. Very fitting that the year Kelsey retires in the 6th round in the 190s, the Eagles draft an undersized center guard.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
It's perfect.
That's poetic, dude. That's storybook, as some might say.
So there is your Eagles draft class. I mean, just a masterclass from Howie Roseman this year. Like, I know you usually have to wait a couple years to kind of see how things play out, but the potential that this draft has genuinely has a chance to be one of Howie Roseman's best draft classes, and can be in the pantheon of the 2018 draft class that I have said is arguably to date Howie's best draft, where they drafted with 5 picks guys who ended up being full-time starters for this team or have gone on to another team and been a starter. And it's Dallas Goedert, Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, Matt Pryor, Jordan Mailata.
That's insane. That is insane.
Like, this draft's potential has a chance to live up to that, which is super exciting. And then on top of that, today, as we record this on Sunday night, the Eagles went out and signed Mekhi Becton to a 1-year, $5.5 million deal.
Yeah, dude, that's the most nonsense thing I take away from this entire thing, because I've been reading all weekend that the Eagles making trades, wheeling, dealing, and I'm like, all right, of course, good shit. And then you tell me that Mekhi Becton's an Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was the one. I did have like a minuscule of hope that the Pats would just sneaky take him. But no, they go to the fucking Eagles once again.
And you know who else that I saw this morning? You know who else is working out for the Philadelphia Eagles during their rookie minicamp?
Oh.
You're never going to believe this, Patty Pitts. I believe this is also from Adam Schefter this morning. If not, it's from Rap Sheet. I'm pulling it up right now because Philadelphia is such a destination city. And
don't say what I think you're gonna say. You said rookie camp, so I don't think it's that.
It's a veteran that is.
It's not Devontae Parker.
No, Devontae Parker's already signed with the Eagles.
Okay,
but it is a wide receiver and trying out at Eagles rookie minicamp and potentially coming out of retirement. Speed demon, John Ross.
Bro, that was not the name I thought you were gonna say. Cause
dude, imagine John Ross in this offense.
Dude, that's just like Madden. You got your tall
The
ass
Eagles wide
dude.
receivers would be A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Devontae Parker. They signed Paris Campbell as well.
Yeah, did you see who else they signed too?
Johnny Wilson, and then potentially John Ross.
But didn't they just sign Quintez Cephas too? Was it someone else? I've been in and out of sleep for the past 48 hours. So
Bills,
that's what it was. Okay, yeah, I saw that today, and I thought Eagles. My bad.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Devontae Parker, Paris Campbell, Johnny Wilson, and John Ross. That sounds like a hell of a wide receiver room, boys.
No, that does. That sounds like a really good wide receiver room. I'm very. I don't know anymore. I'm hopeful after the draft.
To pair with Dallas Goedert and tight end 2. I don't know if we talked about it on this show. I know we talked about it on OTB because it happened when we were recording. CJ Uzomah is on the Eagles.
What?
Yeah, buddy.
You can only start like 11 guys.
And then Saquon Barkley, right? Will Shipley, Kenny Gainwell. Hopefully Boston Scott re-signs soon.
Dude, your offense is becoming a train cart at rush hour.
And then you got Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Tyler Steen.
I was just excited about my team.
Why am I blanking? Cam Jurgens at center. And now Mekhi Becton is your swing tackle. And then 2 offensive linemen in the draft.
You do understand that if the Eagles do not win, if you guys don't win the Super Bowl this year,
dude, what did I tell you? Don Staley won a national championship.
Oh my god,
boy math. What
was the other ridiculous one?
Phillies are going to the World Series because the Colorado Rockies had a game go 9 innings scoreless between both teams. Boy math.
I love these nonsense little excursions we can go down. It's nice.
I know we talked, and if you missed it, our draft stream is up. You can go and watch the whole thing. It was an absolute blast of a time.
Fun.
What are your biggest takeaways from the draft? Winners, losers, in-betweens?
After night 1, I really tuned out because breaking the fourth wall, I have been super busy with work. Like yesterday, I fell asleep at 6:30 at night. But what I saw on night 1 that I think we need to bring up on this show, Kyle, are the goddamn Atlanta Falcons just absolutely shooting themselves in the foot with their first pick. Like they weren't even. It wasn't even a misfire. It was like they took the gun and aimed it right at their foot. What are we doing?
Their GM is in a lot of trouble. I'll say that.
Should be. Seriously.
Not great. Falcons not great. I think a lot of teams are in interesting spots following the draft. I think a lot of teams did a lot of things well. Surprisingly, I think the Chargers had a pretty solid draft, which I was not expecting.
That Joe Wall pick wasn't bad.
That was a great pick for them.
I think
that was a great pick for them. I think we pull up the actual draft itself. I think the Eagles had a home run of a draft. I think the Bears had a great draft.
Bears actually good. Lions had another good draft.
I think the Lions had a very good draft. I think unfortunately the Commanders had a pretty solid draft.
Yeah, the truth hurts, Kyle. The truth hurts.
I think the Colts had a very good draft. Just looking at teams here. I think the Steelers had a great draft. They did a really good job this draft.
Okay.
I mean, the Bills allowed the Chiefs to get the fastest motherfucker in the world on their team.
Yeah, dude. The Bills would not trade with the Patriots. You hear this? Patriots sent in like 2 offers and they didn't even acknowledge them, but then they traded with the Chiefs.
I'm so pissed that Kool-Aid went to a team that I hate.
Oh, where do you go, Cowboys?
Saints.
Saints got Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, which did you see the tweet? It was so disrespectful to Spencer Rattler, but someone said Spencer Rattler looks like an actor cast in a movie about Patrick Mahomes, or in a movie about Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift, and he plays Patrick Mahomes.
It's so so meme is so right. Like, he's not good enough to get the real casting of Pat Mahomes, but like he'll do.
So bad.
He'll do.
Also, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals. It's very rare that I say that. But they drafted my boy Max Melton, South Jersey. Stand up, let's go. Cedar Creek grad, went to Rutgers and goes in the second round to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm super pumped for Max. Like, his brother plays for the Packers. He's a wide receiver for the Packers, Bo Melton. So to have both brothers in the NFL is a really cool thing. To see another South Jersey kid get to the pinnacle of where you want to get, and that's being drafted into the NFL, is such a cool moment. And to see him go in the second round is really, really cool.
Really
Max
good.
works his ass off. He is so talented. He's going to be a game changer in that secondary for the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm super happy for him to get that opportunity to go out and showcase, because he's going to a team that needs a lot of help, and he's going to get a lot of playing time in that defense. So shout out to my boy Max Melton and the entire Melton family. They're phenomenal people. Nobody deserved it more. And then another South Jersey product goes later on in the draft to the Baltimore Ravens, Devin Leary. It's going to be Lamar Jackson's backup.
Are from the best, dude. I love it.
He went to Timber Creek, and he's a player that I actually got a chance to like watch him play against Vineland and like covered. And that dude is talented. I know it didn't really translate when he went to Kentucky after he got injured at NC State, but man, he's talented, and like he's a guy that, like, if you need a backup quarterback, he's going to be a very good backup quarterback in the NFL. Like, not as mobile as like a Gardner Minshew, but like a Gardner Minshew type, where like if you have Gardner Minshew as your backup, you feel pretty good about your team. So I think the Ravens got a winner in Devin Leary. And it's just cool seeing, South Jersey guys make it to the big stage. And as we record this, it's the anniversary of our guy, Jamil Demby, getting drafted and us doing his very first interview after getting drafted. He's on that comeback train, and I can't wait to see where things go for him. But it's crazy that it's been 6 years since the big dog got drafted into the NFL, went to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, played in the XFL. Like, he's doing it big time, and Jamil has always been in our corner, supports everything we do at this company, and it's really cool watching his journey as he continues to just build out as a human. But it's cool that 6 years ago we were watching him get drafted to the LA Rams and ends up being a Super Bowl champion.
We got the anniversary of a draft show we did 2 years ago. Just happened. Yeah. I think that's the AJ Brown one.
AJ Brown one. And AJ Brown gets that extension too right before the draft.
Dude.
Take that LWIP. I'll hang up and listen, you bozos.
You guys are dumb for thinking that he wasn't gonna like. I love it. I love being in the middle of this because of the whole he's going to the Patriots. He changes AV to Tom Brady. I once changed my profile picture to Randy Orton. Does that mean I'm going to go into the WWE and kill legends? No. It means I just like the dude.
He might be slithering down the aisle a little bit, but
yeah, like just
people are so reactionary.
It's so ridiculous, dude. The littlest thing sends people into a spiral. It's so entertaining to watch from afar and just giggle.
It's so great. Happy AJ is here long term. Happy Devontae. And that's the other thing. Like, Howie Roseman does this draft, but also gets long-term extensions for Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, like re-signed CJ Gardner-Johnson, signed Saquon Barkley this offseason. Bryce Huff gets signed. Like, it's just a masterclass. Howie Roseman, tip of the cap. Like, absolute football genius.
Absolute dog.
Patty Pitch, shall we shift from the gridiron to the fightins?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. So.
It is brought to you by our pals over at FOCO the best forever collectibles. They're going to have stuff rolling out for your favorite players that just got drafted, your favorite teams. I just saw they released a whole capsule for the Philly City Connect stuff, which is really cool. Hoping for more from them there. I got to get my short talls. I got to reach out to our reps so I can get those and start wearing those as soon as the weather warms up. But you guys can do the same. FOCO is the leader in officially licensed forever collectibles from Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the NHL, the NBA, WWE, soccer, college sports, you name it, they've got it. Plus, you can get some awesome gifts for mom and dad. They got officially licensed NFL shirts, number one mom, number one dad. Who doesn't love a fun, hilarious gift with their favorite team? Just number one dad, boom. Number one mom, boom. You can get that by clicking the link in the description and checking out everything that our pals over at FOCO have to offer. Shout out to FOCO for being the best and the number one leaders in officially licensed forever collectibles. Phillies broke out the brooms today, Patty Pitts, because that's what's in. They sweep the Padres out in San Diego. Taijuan Walker was back today, and everyone's going to make a big stink about Taijuan Walker giving up a 3-run home run in the 7th inning. But guess what? It was 6-3 before that. And to me, that's more a managerial issue that they didn't pull him after the 6th inning. Like, not that he was pitching poorly, but it's like it's his first start of the season. He's coming off an injury that's concerning.
Yeah.
It would be a feel-good, like, energy and momentum builder for him as the season continues. Gives up the 3-run home run. The Phillies battle back and get a couple runs of insurance. Well, one insurance run to make it 8-6 as your final score today. But Taijuan Walker did not pitch poorly. I would not say he pitched poorly in this game. There was a moment, early in the game where the Padres took a 3-2 lead. Just a defensive miscue that is going to happen, but it was unfortunate. Actually, the defensive miscue was before the 3-run home run. The umpire is what screwed this here. There's a pitch that should have been called a strike. It would have been a strikeout. They called it a ball. Player walks, and then boom, run gets driven in, and then a 2-run home run happens. Then later in the game, Bryce Harper botches a surefire double play, gets a runner on base, and then 3-run home run happens. There's moments there that aren't necessarily Taijuan's fault. 4 strikeouts in this game. I thought it was a very solid performance for Taijuan Walker in his first start back. On Friday night, Phillies win 9-3 behind Aaron Nola, doing the damn thing. Ranger Suarez is now tied for 3rd in Phillies history for consecutive scoreless innings with 32. I'm going to say 32 2/3, but Major League Baseball, for some reason, is not including the 2/3 of an inning because Ranger's a starter, which doesn't make sense to me because there was a list that NBC Sports Philadelphia put up that Cliff Lee had a consecutive scoreless streak that also included 2/3. Something wasn't mathing there. Phillies win 5-1, but a huge shift in momentum. They also won the getaway game against the Reds on Thursday, 5-0 behind Zach Wheeler. So they're on a 4-game winning streak as they get set to head to Anaheim to take on Mike Trout and the Angels.
They've been good this year. Like the
Angels are not good.
Yeah, they're fourth in the West.
Yeah, they're 10-18.
Ugh.
Not good at all. The Phillies are
out of there.
The Phillies are tied for the most wins in all of baseball right now with 19.
I saw that tweet from Underground Sports.
They also set a new franchise record for wins in the month of April.
Wow, there you go.
For a team that's been around since 1883. That's crazy.
That's a long time, Kyle.
They're 19-10, and it's the Phillies, the Braves, and the Guardians, who all have 19 wins this year. It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Pretty damn good to start the year.
And this is something that the Phillies have prioritized this year where traditionally they've gotten off to these slow starts in April and into May, and they have just been on fire. And Pitsy, I'm here to say, I know I've preached this in the past, and everyone knows we have been on it. We've got on the record documentation of it, and we went out and purchased a PSA 10 graded card to have them on the shelf here. It feels so goddamn right to be correct about Alec Bohm.
Yes. Yes, go off, Kyle, because you've said this.
It feels so goddamn
times.
right, Patty Pitts.
No, it does. You go off.
Jesus Christ, he is on fire right now.
You've been sending all the
He's second in the league in RBI. He's hitting the ball like crazy. He's on a 12-game hitting streak. Second longest of his career. He's hitting .365.
Jesus. It's insane.
Like
365? That's wild.
He's Mr. Worldwide right now.
That way.
Alec Bohm, my sweet baby boy. I'm here to say, Patty Pitts.
What do we say?
This year's initiative is we are going to get Alec Bohm to the All-Star game.
Ooh, I can get.
We are going to pander and peddle and push our Philly sweet baby boy, Alec Bohm, to the All-Star game. And when it happens, I will laugh in all of your faces. I will pull up every old tweet from every bozo who wanted to trade this man less than a year ago for a washed-up, aging Nolan Arenado, for Paul Goldschmidt. You're all losers. You're all absolute losers. And it feels so fucking good to know that since we drafted this guy, everyone was talking about, he's going to have to move to first base because third baseman that tall never work out. Look at this motherfucker right now. He's on a Gold Glove pace. He's making plays that are jaw-dropping and dazzling. He's got a 1.1 WAR. And I think it went up after today's game. He's slugging almost 600. He's got an OPS over 1,000.
Like, that's just a consistent. That's the hottest player on the team right now.
He's got 26 RBI, 14 runs.
How many home runs? Is he a home run hitter?
4 dingers so far.
That's pretty good, though.
35 hits and 99 at-bats. Like, my guy he's so fucking good. And people wanted to claim he's the worst third baseman in baseball. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. He's so good, and it feels so vindicating to know that I never wavered. I never shifted. And these idiots online were like, if Nolan Arenado's available, you have to trade for him and include Alec Bohm in the trade. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
It's so funny seeing you get like this. It's really.
I just love being right.
I know it's a fun thing to be. It's really fun.
It is like the biggest adrenaline boost ever.
Oh my god, I couldn't agree more.
Like, I was right about Alec Bohm. I was right about Ranger Suarez. I was right about Rhys Hoskins.
You get a little tickle in your balls.
I was right about Bryson Stott.
By the way, did you see? I can't believe we talked about this game and you did not mention Ranger Suarez's unbelievable double play catch.
Taijuan Walker's.
Taijuan Walker.
Yeah,
sorry.
That was unreal.
That was insane.
Magnificent.
I saw that.
I was like Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers. Magnificent. Magnificent.
It was very good.
Collect.
Very good, sir. It was so. Oh, it was insane.
He was incredible. Bryson Stott hits 2 home runs today. His first multi-home run game of his career.
Well, let's go.
To which John Kruk, they were going through if he had any in the minor leagues, which he did, against a team that is now called the Rubber Duckies and the Hartford Yard Goats. So he's had 2 home run game. He's had a multi-home run game against the Rubber Duckies, the Yard Goats, and the Padres.
That's a hell of a threesome.
It's great bar trivia.
That is insane bar trivia.
So 3 guys walk into a bar. A rubber duck, a yard goat, and a Padre.
One sits down, goes squeak, squeak.
Bryson Stott, you're the one.
The one. You make dingers so much fun.
Bryson Stott, I'm awfully fond of you. Shout out to Bryson Stott's mom. She listens to the podcast, so she's gonna hear that.
Let's go.
But it feels so fucking
Rubber
good.
Ducky Bryson Stott.
Feels so good to be right about Alec Bohm. We're gonna get him to the All-Star game.
Damn right.
Hashtag All-Star Bohm, I think, is what we're gonna use to just pedal our agenda.
Pedal to the metal. Fuck yeah. Pedal that metal.
He's so fucking good, and he's so hot right now. He's just so hot right now, and he's just hot in general. He's a dapper and good-looking man. Good God, what a specimen!
Right, that's great.
Phillies though 19-10 on the year.
Good shit.
Can finish the month of April with over 20 wins, which would be awesome. And I mean they're one of the best teams in baseball right now. And that's exciting. Like, this team is so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just top to bottom. Like, they get off to early leads. Today, Bryson Stott 2-run home run. The other night, Alec Bohm hit a 2-run home run to get the lead going.
Mm-hmm. Makes the pitcher job so much easier.
They've been scoring earlier. It gives your starting pitchers that much more comfortability. Like, they don't have to worry about, like, making a mistake here or there. Like, you have a lead. You have a
base
lead
hits nothing.
Right.
A base hits
it's not going to make or break you. If you give up a double, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah, you can easily get back into the zone.
So the Phillies are playing good baseball right now, and that's exciting. Like, that's what we need to get excited about this team. And I put a poll out, and we'll talk about the disappointment team later on. But I put a poll out, and I'm stunned that the result is what it is so far. I said, are you more annoyed with the Sixers or more excited about the Phillies? What do you think the results are right now with 52 votes in?
Say Phillies.
Excited about the Phillies is 29%. Annoyed at the Sixers is 71%. I'm far more excited about what the Phillies are doing than annoyed with the Sixers. And maybe that's just me because I'm numb to the Sixers right now, but I'm far more excited about what this means for the Phillies, not only now, but moving forward. Like, if the Phillies are right now, they're on a pace to win 106 games.
That's really good.
106, like, that to me is like, okay, what do we need at the trade deadline? Let's go and get the best version of what we need at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go get a shutdown bullpen piece. Let's go get an additional member of the rotation. Let's go get a big-time bench bat to come off the bench and hit home runs in the clutch in the postseason for us. Like, they are playing so well right now, and everyone needs to be more excited about what they're doing.
It's the same song and dance with the Sixers. That's why I'm shocked at the result.
Definition of insanity.
Well, that's sports fandom in a nutshell. But with the Phillies, there's a lot more opportunity to talk about and get excited about. Whereas the Sixers, this shit just, you can keep getting annoyed and annoyed.
Same
but
thing.
You're going around the rabbit, like you're going around the labyrinth over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no point.
The Phillies, there's so much promise and optimism.
Promise is a good word.
And it's
a good word.
In good faith because they're performing. It's not like, oh, we're clinching on to hope here. Like,
yeah, no, there's no hope. Hope
they're fucking good. They are tied for the most wins in baseball right now.
Pretty good.
All of baseball. With the team that you're gunning down in the division, in the Atlanta Braves, who played 3 less games than you, so that's why you're behind them in the division, and the Cleveland Guardians, who have been off to a torrid start, just like the Phillies, to start the year.
Yeah, they're just kicking, dude.
So, like, I feel great about this team right now, and you at home should also feel great because you have the Angels coming up, which is a team that the Phillies should also be able to sweep. And then you come back home to play the San Francisco Giants, who are nowhere close to as good as people thought they were going to be to start the year. Their pitching is injured. Their players are mid. And you should also be able to sweep them, if not take 3 out of 4, because I think it's a 4-game series. Yes, it's a weird 4-game series against the Giants. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, I don't like games turning over to Monday. That's a weird thing.
And then you have 2 games at home against the Blue Jays, who are also not that good to start this season. And then you go to your House of Horrors, which you should be able to sweep, if not win 2 out of 3, the Miami Marlins. And yes, I will be bringing back my Marlins win-loss counter tracker on Twitter this year once again.
The worst. They have the worst record of baseball right now.
Do they?
Yeah, I saw it today. They're statistically the worst team in baseball right now.
Let me pull up the
I started today on
X. Yeah, you're right. By a half game. Because the White Sox swept the Tampa Bay Rays this week.
That's disgusting.
Like,
Tampa Bay Rays should
how
run
does that happen?
suicides.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The White Sox swept the Rays, and the Rays scored more runs in the series.
Kyle, you're gonna need to keep talking because I can't figure out how that makes
Here you
sense.
go. Ready?
Wait,
in the series, White Sox won on Friday 9-4.
Okay.
Then the White Sox won 8-7.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Somebody must have been trolling. I thought it was gonna be one of those things where it was like 1 run difference. Somebody was trolling. I got got.
You got Rick rolled. That's so tough.
9-4, 8-7, and then they won today 4-2.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because Kyle, that's not possible.
Yeah. Then the game that threw me off was 9-4.
Yeah.
Well, it is possible.
Well, how?
If it's like one of those things where it wouldn't be a sweep, but it would be White Sox won 2 out of 3.
Oh, they won they won
the
series.
Rays scored more runs. That happened to the Phillies last year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, then you have the Marlins. Then you go to Citi Field to play the Mets for 2. They're beatable. And then the Mets come to you for 2. And then the Nationals come to Philly for 3. Like, the Phillies should be able to stack wins for the next month, pretty much. 3 weeks, give or take, before the Texas Rangers come to town. And the Rangers aren't even that good right now. So, like...
Yeah, don't they have... what's... Their record isn't that good.
Like, the Rangers right now, as we record this Sunday night, are 15-14. Like, they're beatable. And then on top of that, after the Rangers series, you go back out west to play the Rockies and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
2 beatable teams.
Very
and then you finish May and start June with the terrible St. Louis Cardinals in Philadelphia.
See, that's a pretty good schedule you got lined up for you.
And then your true toughest series for the Phillies, as of right now on paper, is the Milwaukee Brewers when they come to town with Rhys Hoskins coming back to town for the first time in June. That's the toughest series right now on paper in terms of win-loss record. Because the Brewers are 17-10. Like, they're a good team. Everyone else, like the Mets, they're overachieving. They're 14-13. They're not that good. The Rangers are a game above 500, not even in first place in their division. The Nationals are 13-14. The Marlins are 6-23. The Cardinals are 13-15. The Giants are 14-15. The Rockies are 7-21. Like, those are the teams the Phillies are playing over the next month. The Phillies could really set themselves up in a great, great position by the time June 3rd rolls around and the Brewers come to town. That's how many games? That's how many games for the Phillies? Let's see. Including this Angels series upcoming. That's 3 against the Angels, 4 against the Giants, 2 against the Blue Jays. That's 9 games, plus 3 against the Marlins is 12, 4 against the Mets is 16, 3 against the Nationals is 19, 3 against the Rangers is 22, and then 3 against the Rockies is 25, 3 against the Giants is 28, and then 3 against the Cardinals is 31. So
Blue
31
Jays
games.
And Rangers. Blue Jays and Rangers, I feel like, would give them the toughest.
They're frisky, but beatable.
Beatable. Yeah, they could maybe get one of those.
In the 31 games that the Phillies play before the Brewers come to town, including the Angels series that I put in there. So 31 games before Rhys Hoskins and the Brewers come to Philadelphia. The way that the Phillies are playing, what number would you put on the win-loss total for the Phillies in 31 games? Am I crazy to think that it's over 20 in the win column? With those teams that they're playing?
My initial gut was 27-4.
They genuinely could do that. Like, that's not crazy to me. Which is crazy. Wild.
That is wild. Maybe like 19-12.
Like, I genuinely
that's not bad either.
I think they can go like 24-7.
See, I'm expecting a weird, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
The
and those will
Nationals
happen.
take two out of 3, and you're like,
Which
why
would
did we
not
just
shock
get
me.
one? It would
But,
it wouldn't be shocking at all. But
like,
it would.
I think I'm putting my mark in the next 31 games that the Phillies play. They're going to go 24-7. If they keep playing at this pace and the style of baseball they're playing, I genuinely don't think it's crazy and out of the question that they can go 24-7 in their next 31, which would put them at, math is hard, everybody, so I'm pulling up the calculator.
The 27-4 add to their.
That would have them at 43 wins, 43-14.
Wow. Oh my god.
Like, I feel crazy saying it, but it's not crazy that that's out of the question with how they're playing right now. And like you said, it could be only 4 losses.
It could be.
If they keep pitching and hitting the way that they are, which is very possible. And I think more likely than not, it's not out of the question. Like, they could be 47-11.
I could see them going 27-4 or 19-12. There's no in between.
Like, I'm going to say 24-7, which is right in between yours.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
I'll hold it down on the
fence. They'd
fences.
be at 43 wins at the beginning of June. Like,
that's huge. That's
as we say on this show, massive.
That's massive. That'd be massive, as we say here in the underground. 43 wins, a lot of wins to have.
I feel like Arnold in Hey Arnold when he's bashing the trash can lids on his ear, and he's like, "I'm crazy." That's how I feel in my head saying this, but it's not out of the question.
No, it's not at all,
and that's awesome. Like, that sets you up for a fun ass summer of baseball at Citizens Bank.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a really good start to the summer.
I'm genuinely like pumped. And then like, I know it's looking super far ahead, but after the Brewers series is when you go to London. So then you have the London series, and then you might have to go to one of these games for us. Phillies are coming to Boston.
Oh, I might have to.
Might have to send you to Phillies Red Sox, June 11th through the 13th.
Hold it down.
Would be electric.
June 7th to the 3rd. That's
June 11th, 12th, and 13th. The Phillies are in Boston.
11th. Okay.
It's a Tuesday through Thursday.
All right. Maybe I'll have a weird day off there. I'll go.
And then the Phillies go to Camden Yards, which will be a good, fun series. The Orioles are fun. Hopefully they tee off on Craig Kimbrell. And then the Padres come to Philly. And then the Diamondbacks come to Philly for an NLCS rematch.
Oh, we got some West Coast action.
And then the Phillies go to Detroit. And then the Marlins come to Philly. And then the Phillies go to Chicago. And that's your July 4th series. Like, those are all winnable games.
All very winnable.
There's so many winnable games. And it's so fun.
Long season, though. It's a long
100%.
season.
And then after the Cubs is when you play the Braves again for the first time since opening week.
And that'll be a real test.
And they'll be two totally different teams by
totally
then, which is so
different
fun.
Teams. Oh,
yeah. And I'm just so excited. Like the Phillies, I'm giddy. I'm giddy with how the Phillies are playing right now.
I can sense it.
And you know me, and anyone who's ever listened to this podcast knows the Phillies are my number one.
That's your dog.
They're my squad.
That's your
through
baby.
and through. And it's just fun watching them succeed. And it's very electric. Pitsy, shall we get to Underground Stats and Info?
Sure.
Underground Stats and Info, also brought to you by FOCO. Pulling up the Platinum Plunk, which we got a new addition to the Phillies list in today's game.
Nice.
Bryson Stott, welcome to the Platinum Plunk Awards standings. But we'll start with run differentials because it gets the people going. Is it provocative? No, but it gets the people going. The NL East looks a little something like this, Pitsy. The 19-7 Atlanta Braves are in first place. They've won 8 out of their last 10. They are the leaders in the clubhouse in run differential. What do you have their run differential at?
Plus 48.
So close. Plus 47.
Oh.
Then we go to our 19-10 fighting Phils, the Philadelphia Phillies, who have also won 8 out of their last 10, have won 4 in a row, are in the positives. How do you have their run differential?
I don't think it's as high as the Braves.
You'd be correct.
I'm going to say plus 12.
They're at plus 25.
Oh, I was closer with my first.
Plus 25. Then we go to the old New York Mets, who are 14-13. They are also in the positives.
Interesting.
How do you have their run differential?
I'm going to go plus 12 again because I remember they were the same.
They're plus 7.
Okay, so we're getting closer at least.
Then we go to the 13-14 stolen franchise Washington Nationals, who have scored the second fewest runs in the division, but have not given up nearly the most runs in the division, but they are negative.
Negative 13.
They are negative 10.
So close.
And then we go to the worst team in baseball, the 6-23 Miami Marlins, who are 2-8 in their last 10, have lost 6 in a row. They are well in the negatives.
Well, okay, good. Okay, I'm glad you gave me that clue because I was about to ask you, is it like a bullshit -1 or like is it
in years past? That's what it would be.
That's what I'm saying, like -1 or like +3. Like
the Marlins, I'm also checking just for the record here, have surrendered the second most runs in all of baseball.
Wow.
Only behind the Rockies.
I'm gonna go with negative 31.
They're at a negative 59.
Oh my god! What?
They've given up 161 runs on the year.
God.
Have only scored 102.
Oh my god, that's awful.
It's tough goings down in Miami.
Buy a base hit.
The rest of baseball, Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers are tied at the top of the NL Central at 17-10. The Cubs have a plus 15. The Brewers have a plus 14. And then the Reds, who are 15-13, have the best run differential in the division at plus 21. The Pirates are 14-15 and have a negative 6 run differential. And the Cardinals are 13-15 and have a negative 23 run differential. Then your Los Angeles Dodgers are in first place in the NL West with a plus 38 run differential. The San Francisco Giants are 14-15 and have a negative 17 run differential. The San Diego Padres are 14-17 and have a negative 3 run differential. The Diamondbacks are 13-16 and have a plus 29 run differential. 3 games under 500 and plus 29. And then the 7-21 Colorado Rockies have scored 106. They've given up 176 and have a negative 70 run differential.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Pitts, we have 2 more days of April. Is it out of the question that the Rockies surrender 24 runs in the next 2 days?
See, anything's possible in this nonsense world we live in, but very unlikely.
Should I pull up who they play?
Yes. Yeah.
Justify or not justify?
Well, you got to score 12 runs a game.
So the unfortunate happening here is the Rockies are off on Monday.
Yes, that doesn't help.
But then on Tuesday, the Rockies are... Where are... Oh, it's a battle of the worst. The Rockies are playing the Marlins.
Oh my god, dude.
It's the Get Right series.
Not a chance they score any runs. The Marlins can't put up runs to save their life.
One of these teams is going to get on a Get Right streak, though. Somebody's got to win the game.
Somebody's got to win. It might be like pulling teeth, but somebody's got to win.
That's hilarious.
That is so funny. That's wicked funny.
That's so funny. Holy shit. But yeah, we're on Rockies watch to give up 1,000 runs, obviously. Then we move to the American League, where the New York Yankees, the Baltimore Orioles, and the Boston Red Sox all have positive run differentials. The Yankees at plus 43, the Orioles at plus 34, and the Red Sox at plus 32.
Help with that 17 nothing win.
That's huge. It's run differential supremacy right there. The Toronto Blue Jays are a game under 500, but have a negative 24 run differential. And then the just swept by the Chicago White Sox Tampa Bay Rays are 13-16 and have a negative 32 run differential. And then we go to Pitsy's favorite division in all of baseball, the AL Central. The Cleveland Guardians are 19-9. They have a plus 46 run differential, which is the best in the American League, just ahead of the Yankees. The Kansas City Royals are at a plus 43 at 17-12. Hey, you might have been onto something in our preseason predictions. The Detroit Tigers, 16-12 on the year, have a plus 3 run differential. The Minnesota Twins are 14-13, have a plus 8 run differential. And then the Chicago White Sox, Chicago, 6-22. They have doubled their win total this weekend.
Nice. I'm so happy for them.
Still have scored.
They swept the team.
They've scored the fewest runs in baseball this year by far at 77.
Are they even swinging the bat?
Their runs scored is the positive version of their run differential. Their run differential is a negative 77.
That's so bad. Holy shit, that's so bad.
They've been doubled up
God.
all year. They've given up 154 runs and have scored 77.
They can't buy themselves anything. How are you that bad as a baseball team?
That's insane.
That is so wild to me.
And is it still the Guardians? No, the Braves have the best run differential in baseball by 1. And then the AL West, which is the most mid-division in baseball so far. The Mariners at 15-13 have a plus 10 run differential. The Rangers are 15-14, have a plus 7. The Oakland A's are 12-17, have scored 84 runs. They are one of 2 teams who have not scored 100 runs yet. They have a negative 43 run differential, though. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are 10-18. They have a negative 36 run differential. And the 9-19 Houston Astros have a negative 22 run differential.
How the mighty have fallen.
So looking at everything, worst runs scored against is the Rockies with 176, the Marlins at 161, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at 155, the Chicago White Sox at 154, and then the Tampa Bay Rays at 148.
Okay.
Some interesting things as we approach the end of April, which will have our Platinum Plunk leaders in the clubhouse coming out on May 1st before a new month begins. We want obviously all of the games to be played by the time we put out the stats, because somebody could get plunked at 10 Eastern time and we miss out on it.
You never know.
More underground stats and info as we head to the Platinum Plunk, which if you're new here, Pitsy and I are keeping track of the hit by pitch totals for a single MLB team, a single MLB player, and the Philadelphia Phillies this year. It is our way of just tapping into a fun stat like we have with run differential when Matt and I got that train started 3 years ago, and now it is the norm. We are doing it with the Hit by Pitch Award. It is the Chase Utley Platinum Plunk standings. And goddamn, the Cleveland Guardians, Pitsy, they are still in first place. 24 hit by pitches.
God damn.
Not far behind,
last
though,
time
is the Minnesota Twins at 23. They're breathing down their neck. It's
we gotta raise.
It's like the SpongeBob and Patrick meme when Sandy's running after him with the lasso.
Dude, we got a race on our hands, boy.
The league average in terms of hit by pitch right now is 11. No, I'm sorry, it's 12. 12 is the league average, which the Blue Jays, the Tigers, the Reds, and the Orioles are all at league average. And then above league average are the 24 hit by pitches for the Guardians, the 23 for the Minnesota Twins, the 16 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Top 5, your Boston Red Sox at 15, along with the Washington Nationals at 15. The Braves, Mets, and Rays all at 14. And then the Diamondbacks and Rockies at 13. And in the basement, which is a good thing in my opinion because we're not getting hit by pitches. Philadelphia Phillies, 4.
Wow, that is insane.
4, which the next leaders are 6 with the Padres and the Pirates.
Okay.
And then let's see if I can find the player list here. Why can I not find it? Here we go. Bryson Stott got hit by a pitch today against the Padres, so he joins the list of Philadelphia Phillies along with Edmundo Sosa, Johan Rojas, and I don't know who the other player is for some reason that got hit by a pitch since we last recorded, but I will find it here. As we look at the leaders, we've got a tie at the top, Pitsy, in the same division, the nonsense division, which is very fitting. Andres Jimenez has been the lead dog, and he still is. He's got 7, and he's joined by Minnesota Twins Ryan Jeffers. They're both at 7, and then we have Mark Canha, Brendan Donovan, and Ramon Laureano all at 5. And then a whole bunch of players at 4 and 3. And then we scroll down to the 1s because I'm pretty sure that's where all of the Phillies reside. It is Johan Rojas, obviously. Trey Turner also. That I did know that. So Trey Turner, Bryson Stott, Edmundo Sosa, Johan Rojas are your 4 Phillies who have all been hit by a pitch once this season. It's crazy. The Cleveland Guardians are on pace to get hit by a pitch once for every day of the month.
That's insane. Yeah, basically.
24 times they've been hit by a pitch. It is April 28th as we record this.
Yeah, it's basically one a game.
If they get hit by a pitch, let's see how many games they've actually played in the month of April, because I think you got to take away 3 for opening week, which happened in March. So the Guardians are, what is their record? They've played, they're 19-9, so that's 28 games total. So they are averaging damn near one hit by pitch for every game they've played in the month of April. They've been hit by 24 pitches. They played 25 games in April.
Yeah, it's actually like almost 1, like 0.9 or something.
That's crazy.
That is insane. A hit by pitch by game. That's
like
wild.
They are averaging almost 1 full hit by pitch.
So they have to have a streak going.
Like
there's got to be a streak
of
some sort.
Insane.
Or there was.
The Twins are right there. The Twins are 1 behind them.
That's true.
And the Twins have played 2 less games all season, so that adds to their cause. Wait a second. The Twins have played 2 less games than the Guardians, so that means they played 27 games. Take away 3, they played 24. And the Twins have been hit by 20. They're on the same pace as the Guardians.
So they're tied for number 1.
They're tied for like hit by pitch averages. Because the Guardians have played 28 games. The Twins have played 27. So you take away the 3 for the month of March. That's insane. Because the Twins have been hit by 23 pitches. The Guardians have hit by 24.
That's wild.
They're averaging almost 1 full hit by pitch per game.
That's insane.
In the month of April.
That's like that just seems so ridiculous to think about. They're just getting beamed every game.
And they both have one guy who has been hit by 7 pitches.
Yeah, he could have 10 by May 5th.
Like
he could be hit by 10 pitches. May 5th.
That's crazy. He could get hit by 10 pitches by tomorrow.
Yeah, the way
they're going.
They're getting beamed at. Who
do they play next? Let's see. Monday. Are both teams off? No, the Twins play the White Sox. That's an opportunity to get hit by a pitch.
Oh, my God. Do you think those pitchers know how to hit a strike zone? Oh,
and then Cleveland is back in action on Tuesday against the Astros. That's an opportunity to get hit by pitch. The Astros pitching has not been good this year.
No, not at all.
So there's the Platinum Plunk standings. Your team leader right now is the Cleveland Guardians. They're on pace to win April, but the Twins are right there. So by the time we record on Wednesday, Pitsy, we will know who wins the month of April for the Platinum Plunk Award for April. as a team. We have a tie in the clubhouse for player between Ryan Jeffers and Andres Jimenez from the Guardians and the Twins. And then we have a 4-way tie with the Philadelphia Phillies between Trey Turner, Edmundo Sosa, Johan Rojas, and Bryson Stott, who joined the fold today. Wow. And the Phillies are dead last in hit.
Who's gonna? That's a good place to be dead last. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a bad place to be. Dead
I do
last.
too. Like, yes, it's getting on base, so it's a free pass. But I also think it's the Phillies are seeing pitches better, so they're not swinging at things, or pitchers are just dealing them pitches right down the middle for them to fucking blast.
For the most part, yeah.
And then they started blasting,
just blasting.
So there is your Platinum Plunk standings, your Chase Utley Platinum Plunk Award for the most hit by pitches in Major League Baseball this year. It's so fun tracking this. I genuinely saw Bryson Stott get hit today and said, "Ooh, Bryson, welcome to the Platinum Plunk."
Yeah, like you just like it becomes.
I said it audibly out loud.
It's like, oh, you got plunked. All right, add that to the list. Oh, that's so.
I was like, oh, Bryson's in the running.
That's so funny.
We are going to normalize hit by pitch tracking.
Have to.
We normalized run differential. I see so many baseball writers and people who cover baseball talking about run differential, and it's like we started that.
Yeah.
We started that on this show as a gimmick.
Yeah, just call us
in 2021.
Yeah, we're just pioneers.
Like, we've been tracking run differential for 3 years and making it a norm in baseball.
And I'm like the Joe to Matt Steve. Like, I came in at the second chapter.
Like, you are here and part of the crusade to normalize run differential.
That's all I am. That's all I do.
Like, it wasn't Jeff Passan. It wasn't John Heyman. It wasn't Baseball Reference. It wasn't the Elias Sports Bureau. It was us.
No, yeah.
It was us. We did that. We got to put that on our LinkedIn profile.
We do.
Normalized run differential. Established 2021.
It's a hell of a tagline. I'll tell you that. It's a hell of a tagline. It's a hell of a tagline.
Like, I saw our guy John Foley, who covers the Phillies for PHLY Phillies and PHLY. This was last series. So before the Phillies went out on the road. When they brought in Ricardo Pinto and he almost choked away the game, which he got DFA'd today for Taijuan Walker. So thanks for the Bryce Harper 3-run home run game and traveling from Rochester in a car. But that's about all Ricardo Pinto delivered.
That's so tough.
It was what game was it? Oh, it was the game against the White Sox when they won 9-5 and they were up 9-1. John Foley tweeted, "Run differential truthers are in shambles." I was like, "It's me, run differential truther.
Hi, I'm the problem.
Hi, it's me." So there are your Platinum Plunk and run differentials, brought to you by our pals over at FOCO. Underground stats and info, if you will. Let's shift to the depressive Philly sports. It is brought to you by Kenwood Beer, because you're responsibly going to need to crack open quite a few ice cold Kennies to get through this. Kenwood Beer, it's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, only 120 calories, and just 8 grams of carbs. Pitsy loves an ice cold Kenny when he's in town. And of course, you can check out where to get an ice cold Kenny on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and New Jersey areas. You can also get it at your local liquor stores in those markets. You can also check out the Kenny storefront to see who's got. They've got the Kenwood Beer pint glasses. They've got awesome apparel. They're the best in the game. The official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. KenwoodBeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. Sixers lose to the Knicks on Sunday at home. They're down 3-1 in the series, and I genuinely don't care. I genuinely could not care less. And it has nothing to do with what Joel Embiid is doing, because he is battling through a knee injury. He's diagnosed with Bell's palsy. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's partial facial paralysis. And he's putting the team on his back when he's not even close to 100%. Tyrese Maxey is doing all that he can. And it's just nobody else is showing up to help those guys. Kelly Oubre had a great game today for what it's worth, but not as a whole throughout the series has he performed to where you'd like. The Sixers can't rebound to save their lives. And I've said it time and time again on Twitter. I forget if I've said it on this show. I'm sure I have. 2021 ruined me with the Sixers. It ruined Matt with the Sixers. And this could not faze me any less than what is happening. Tons of Knicks fans were at the Wells Fargo Center today, and people were making a big stink about that. Well, hey, guess what? When your ownership doesn't make it a priority to win and make it so that you get that home court advantage, and Joel Embiid talked about it in his post-game press conference that it was embarrassing how many Knicks fans were in the building. It pissed him off, and it's like, it's not Joel's fault. But when the team does the same song and dance over and over and over and over again, dating back to 2018, you can't buy in. And that's the difference between the Eagles and the Phillies right now versus what the Sixers are. You look at the Eagles in the postseason when they're at home. That place is stuffed to the gills, green everywhere. There's no opposing fans in sight. You look at Red October when it rolls around. It is red everywhere, nothing in sight of another opposing team. The Sixers, when fans have no reason to buy into the product you're putting out on the floor and have no hope for what this team is going to be able to do, you're fooling yourself if you thought the Sixers even had a remote shot at doing anything in this postseason. Like, you are fooling yourself. And that's no slight to guys like Embiid and Maxey and the guys who have at least shown effort in a Kelly Oubre, a Kyle Lowry, and those guys. But this team is not built to do anything in this postseason. They were never going to beat a team like the Indiana Pacers in the second round. They were not going to even be able to probably go and battle against a dwindled down Milwaukee Bucks team if they end up beating the Pacers. They had no shot against your Celtics and no shot against any team in the Western Conference.
No.
There's no reason to, and even if the Heat pulled some miracle.
No, you're going to be in the Heat. You're not.
There's no way this Sixers team is beating the Heat in a 7-game series. I'm sorry.
No, because Bam Adebayo. And
not even Bam. It's just like the voodoo magic that the Heat have would overpower anything that the Sixers are throwing there. Is it embarrassing that Knicks fans invaded Wells Fargo Center the last 2 games? Sure. But there's no buy-in from the fans. And if you're a season ticket holder and you can make a profit on your season tickets and enjoy a loss from home rather than going down to the Wells Fargo Center, spending an arm and a leg on parking, spending an arm and a leg on food, why subject yourself to that? And 99% of the time, you don't know who you're selling your tickets to unless you're selling them person to person. So if you're putting them up for sale online, you're not knowing who's going to buy them.
No,
and it's cheaper for somebody from New York to catch the train to Philly and buy a ticket to go to the Wells Fargo Center to watch the Knicks than it is to go to Madison Square Garden. I can't slight Knicks fans for doing it. But there's no culture right now with the Sixers. Like, Embiid and Maxey are obviously the faces of this team and will be for as long as they're here. But overall, organizationally, there's no culture to buy into. The Eagles have that and have had that for years. Like, I saw somebody say, and even when the Eagles are 3-8, you still see fans spending $400 to go to the link. Well, newsflash, buddy. I did the research. The Eagles have been 3-8 one time since 2012, and it was in 2012, and they were 3-8-1 in 2020. That's it. So that shows you they have the credence and have built the currency with the fans to say, hey, those were just blips on the radar. Traditionally, we are going to be in the mix in the postseason and being a dominant team like we have shown we can be over the last decade plus.
It's so different, though. It's so different with the
Eagles. The difference with just tickets alone, there's 8 now, sometimes 9 home games for the Eagles versus an 82-game season in the NBA where you get 41 home games. There's a big difference there. You get a chance to see the Sixers a lot more at home than you do with the Eagles. You want to do a similar thing? It's taken 2 years for the Phillies to build up that currency and that credence with the fan base to say, hey, we are going to be in the mix. We are fighting for a World Series. We are going to do whatever it takes, whether it's going and spending money on players, making moves at the trade deadline, firing a manager mid-season, and we're going to make sure that we are in the mix and in the postseason and making noise every single year. And they have done that. And look at what happens when playoff baseball rolls around in Philadelphia. You have the last 2 years. You have those playoff moments filled with 46,000 plus Phillies fans. The Sixers do not have that and have not had that probably since 2018, which was the first year of Embiid and Ben Simmons going to the playoffs together. That was the year Embiid was wearing the mask. And that was like the first taste of like, holy shit, like we're finally in the playoffs. So you had like that initial wave of fans being like, we finally did it. We finally made it to the postseason. Like, let's ride. And then you get heartbroken by the Celtics in the second round. And then 2019 rolls around and the Kawhi shot happens. And that I don't want to see any Sixers fan because I've seen it way too often saying that this series has been the most heartbreaking since 20. No, motherfucker. No. This series is nothing. This is a blip on the radar in terms of this is just disappointment. This isn't even heartbreak. This isn't anger. This is just flat out disappointed. The Raptors series crushed me. I have never cried about the Sixers in my lifetime except for that series. It was that series and when Allen Iverson got traded. And Allen Iverson getting traded is like not even a game situation.
No, but this is like the
Raptors series and the Kawhi shot crushed my soul. The bubble is whatever, like that's fugazi. 2021 crushed me with the Hawks series and genuinely led me to believe like, what do I have to look forward to with the Sixers? Like they are never going to have a path that is as clear to get to the finals again than they had in 2021.
Yeah, you're not going to get that again, man.
2022 rolls around. It's more heartbreak. Last year, disappointment again, where James Harden just disappears against the Celtics. And this year is just like, whatever, man. Like I genuinely had no belief in this team all year because Embiid was out most of it. Embiid comes back probably earlier than he should have. And people bought into the 8-game win streak to end the season and then the win against the Heat and thought that they could go on this magical run. No, that's not what this team has been all year. This team has been fighting for their lives because they've been without their best player. And you can't go without Embiid on the court for more than 4 minutes and a game slips away from you in the playoffs, which is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that you can't sit Joel Embiid the entire second half against the Knicks today in a loss because if you take him off the floor, the Knicks are just going to run all over you. That's embarrassing.
They're not a good basketball team, Kyle. They're not. I'm sorry. Like I'm shocked they even made it this far.
And it's like there's only so much goodwill I can give to a team, and I think Nick Nurse is a very good coach. I don't think he's been put in proper situations this year from the roster construction, from just like ownership trying to get a fucking stadium built in Chinatown rather than worrying about winning.
Yeah,
this ownership group doesn't care about you. They don't care about this team. This is just a cash grab for them and trying to build it and flip it to somebody else. And it's just embarrassing. Like, look at the ownership groups in Philadelphia right now of the major 4 sports. The Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie. You just watched everything on the draft, with the draft calls to Jeffrey Lurie, and you've seen the sustained success with the Philadelphia Eagles and what Jeffrey Lurie will do to make sure that this team is a contender year in and year out. You look at John Middleton. He's out in the public, shaking hands with people, taking pictures with me looking like a bozo, at the playoffs, ready to rock and roll with a tie-dye shirt on underneath my awesome Foco overalls.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Like, he's gone on local radio saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my fucking trophy back. Like, John Middleton claims credence to that World Series trophy like it's his own. He's spent the money. He's gone out and done what it takes to make sure that the Phillies product on the field and off the field is pristine. You look at the Flyers right now. And sure, it's very new and it's a very refresh to what we know the Flyers to have been over the past decade. But,
there's effort.
You look at the new people in charge with Comcast Spectacor who have taken over this year, who I think have done a phenomenal job. You look at who's in charge now with Keith Jones and Danny Briere. Those are things that give you hope for what the Flyers can be moving forward. The Sixers don't have that because Josh Harris is too worried about the New Jersey Devils and buying the Washington Commanders and not worrying about the first team he bought. And he's buying all these teams that have nothing to do with each other. And he's just trying to, build up his portfolio to then go and flip it to somebody else. I genuinely cannot wait for the day that Josh Harris sells this fucking team.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of it because if the ownership doesn't care about it,
I genuinely can't wait.
Yeah.
That will be one of the best days in Sixers franchise history is when Joshua Harris sells the team. Because this ownership group is just gross. They don't care about winning. They don't care about the success of this team. And it's just, let's get as many people in the building as possible. Let's make our millions. And they're trying, they haven't won a fucking thing, Pitts. They haven't won a fucking thing since they've owned the team, and they're trying to push for a new stadium. Yeah, what gives you the right frame of mind?
Gives you the right, sir,
to say, yeah, we deserve a new stadium. You haven't won a fucking thing. That team that just walked into the Wells Fargo Center and took 2 games at home against you,
they own it.
3 guys on that team have 2 banners hanging in that building from what they did in college.
Yeah, they own it more.
They have double the amount of wins and banners and championships to their name in their basketball careers than you do since owning the Philadelphia 76ers. Give me a break.
So sad.
Get a grip. Go worry about Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Sell this team. Get out from it because you clearly don't care. They don't care about what this team does at all because it is the same thing every single year, and there's more and more credence to my tweet that I put out last week that the Sixers played in the play-in, and this is technically in their minds the second round of the playoffs for them, and that's why they're playing so terribly.
It's a good theory.
Because every single time the second round of a playoff rolls around, sans the bubble when they got swept, and I don't even count the bubble playoffs as being even real.
That wasn't real.
2018, they lose in the second round of the Celtics. 2019, they lose in the second round of the Raptors with the Kawhi shot. Bubble happens, they get swept out of the bubble, and then Brett Brown gets fired. That brings in Doc Rivers. They lose in the second round to the fucking Hawks. They lose in the second round to was it the Heat in 2022?
Or Heat. Yeah, Heat.
And then second round to the Celtics in 2023. And they're about to lose in their modular second round to the New York Knicks, an irrelevant franchise for over a decade.
God,
and I got to say, Knicks fans are the biggest group of weirdos I've ever seen in my entire life.
There.
They are oddballs.
You didn't go to WrestleMania.
Sixers fans dug up some stuff about this Knicks account that people got fired over the weekend because of past tweets, putting out Chat GPT type apologies. Some weirdo shit was coming from this account. I'm not even going to name drop them because they don't deserve my breath. And then you have Knicks fans outside the Wells Fargo Center today putting a Knicks jersey on Wilt Chamberlain. I hope you all have epic diarrhea on your way back on the train. I hope we get a news headline.
They're hoodlums.
I hope we get a news headline tomorrow.
That's so funny.
Amtrak goes to shit. Hundreds of Knicks fans shit their pants on their way back from Wells Fargo Center.
Oh my God.
I hope that's a headline we get.
I've taken a shit on the Amtrak before.
But I hope it happens in their pants and not in the bathroom.
Well, you know what they say, Kyle? Shit pants, shit luck.
That's what I need. I need them to all just shit their pants.
That's such a
just weirdo behavior, bro. Like
I would say they are the weirdest, one of the weirdest.
Like they act like
fans.
they've won stuff recently. They haven't done a fucking lick of dick in decades.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other teams that are like weird fans.
I was correct in
they're
2022. The Sixers, that was this 2022 playoffs was Jimmy Butler in the hallway at the Wells Fargo Center yelling, "Tobias Harris over me."
I'm not gonna call Jets fans weird. They're just sad.
Jets fans are weird. Jets fans are the football equivalent to Knicks fans.
Well, it's New York. Yankee fans are the worst.
Weirdos.
I hate.
Well, like Yankees fans.
One of my best friends is a Yankee fan.
Yankee fans have superseded. Like Yankees fans are in that like cultural weirdness where it's like them, the Cowboys, the Lakers, Duke.
Like I know what you mean.
They're in a different stratosphere. Like the Jets and the Knicks are still like New York weird. And they're just like fucking
Mets,
weirdos.
Jets, if you're a Mets Jets fan and Knicks,
disgusting.
I think that's one of my friends too. One of my friends.
Disgusting.
That's tough.
Like,
I can't imagine it because I don't know what that type of losing feels like. I'm from Boston.
It doesn't
we're
me.
winners.
Like, I just think it's fucking weirdo behavior the way that Knicks fans have been acting because they haven't won shit. Like,
they didn't win this title. No, they haven't won shit since like 1970. I think 72.
Shit, like.
I legitimately think the last title they won was
playoff series.
It's no playoff series. Go championship.
Playoff series. I wasn't even alive.
It was 1972. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it wasn't even a thought.
Like Walt Frazier.
Like
I think
the Knicks act like they are this like holier than thou organization. They've won 2 championships in franchise history.
Yeah, do you know
in 76 years? And it was 1970 and 1973.
Oh, it was so close.
And in the past 10 seasons, Pitts, they've won 1 playoff series. It's probably going to end up being 2 by the time this series against the Sixers, but 2 playoff series in a decade. The Knicks are the Cowboys.
Oh.
The Knicks are the fucking Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, they've made the playoffs 3 times in the last decade. Like, miss me with that shit. Suck my dick from the back.
That's so funny.
Fucking loser organization. They're going to get stomped in the second round by the Pacers.
Rangers scored.
Like, I can't. Like, they're just such fucking weirdos. But this series, like, the series and what's happening with this, like, it doesn't faze me. I'm not surprised by what's happening whatsoever.
I'm not either, man. I'm really not.
It's genuinely the least shocking thing because it is truly the definition of insanity, trying to do the same shit over and over again and expecting different results. And time's ticking, Daryl Morey. Time's ticking. Just saying. Sell the fucking team at this point, too, because I'm just so over the bullshit with this ownership group and them just not caring about winning. And that's why my energy goes towards the Phillies. That's why my energy goes towards the Eagles. That's why my energy goes towards the Union. I just genuinely don't care. And that's a sad state of affairs for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Very sad. You can see my face.
That's all we got for you guys. I know it was a long episode, but there was a lot to talk about, and it was a lot of fun. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.com/Underground Sports PHI, Twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI, LinkedIn. Check us out on LinkedIn, and follow Pitsy on Twitter and Instagram at Pat_Pitts on Twitter and at Pitsy35 on Instagram and Threads. Follow me at KBIZZL311 on Twitter and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. Build up the followers on there. Let's keep subscribing. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And of course, Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are at 779 subscribers right now. Let's get to 800. Like we're 21 away. 21. Can 21. You do something for me? Let's get to 800 before the end of April. Let's make it happen. Big old surge. We're gonna be tweeting. I'm gonna have a company initiative. Everybody tweeting about getting us to 800 subscribers. Keep subscribing to the YouTube channel. youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave a comment down below if you want the Sixers owners to sell the team. I'm just genuinely curious if that's in anybody else's brains. Get your merch at phiapparel.co. Use code underground for 10% off your merch orders. And of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And the City of Vineland, if you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. It's been episode number 633 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Pitsy, I'm KB. Let's go Phils. Let's go Birds. Till next episode, we're getting the heck up out of here. We are signing off. Peace.